Hello and welcome to part 2 of the Achtung Baby video. Now I apologise for cutting off the first part of the video at an unexpected end point, primarily because I accidentally pressed a button and I didn't mean to. So this is part 2, and in part 2 around Achtung Baby you're going to talk about the singles that come with it and the other extra tracks. So we've talked about Mysterious Ways. We're on to single 3, which is One, and this is one of the finest CD singles of all time, by the way, and primarily because the CD and the 12-inch single have some of the best B-sides I have ever heard by anybody ever. So I'm going to quickly kind of talk through what's on the extra. You've got One, that U2 classic. It's the song that most sounds like old U2 on the whole of the album. And you've got on the CD and the 12-inch, you've got Lady with a Spinning Head, Satellite of Love, and the Steel String remix of Night and Day on the B-side. Now, Lady with a Spinning Head is a song that I think lots and lots of U2 fans would desperately like the band to play live, but U2 don't tend to play B-sides anymore. U2 tend to just play the studio album tracks. But Lady with a Spinning Head, as you will have seen from the alternate versions on these two albums, could be part of. There's parts of Lady of the Spinning Head, which also turned into The Fly, which turned into Ultraviolet, which turned into Zoo Station, which was also parts of Salome. So it's almost like they took this one jam and they just hived out individual parts and formed other songs as a result of them. But as a result of that, what you will find is that the whole of the album feels like it's one continuous piece that's made out, or one continuous song that's made out of 12 separate pieces that all join together. And that is why I think Achtung Baby is one of the best albums that U2 have ever made. And as I also said, it's one of their finest. Now, I'm going to talk through, I think, the next single that came out, which was even better than The Real Thing. And this has Salome on it, and it has the B-sides of Where Did It All Go Wrong, and a remix of Lady with a Spinning Head. Now, Lady with a Spinning Head, by the way, there's parts of Lady with a Spinning Head that are a different recording to the versions that are on the 12-inch. There's different performances inside them. But Where Did It All Go Wrong was a song that was heavily bootlegged on this. There's a couple of maybe 3 performances on the new U2 bootleg that's here, and there's also, as I said, there's a Salome, which was took its name from the title. CD single of Even Better Than The Real Thing is there, and we also have the CD single of Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses. Now, Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses, the last single released from the album, was re-recorded in the Temple Bar in Dublin in, I think, October 1992, or maybe a little bit earlier, as part of they just thought that the song needed a little bit of a spruce up. So it's a completely different recording. It's based upon acoustic guitar, not electric guitar, and it's got a far breezier, brighter sound to it. It also has a remix CD, and U2 went all in on remixes during this period of their career. So there's a 12-inch single of Even Better Than The Real Thing, backed with a ton of remixes that's on there. The Perfecto mix is fantastic. Mysterious Ways had loads and loads of remixes on it. As I said, also Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses had a remix of Salome on the Zoo Romancer mix, which is remixed by Boyzone, but it's a great track. Actually, it has a slightly different and alternate vocal on the Zoo Romancer remix, and we've also got the 12-inch here of Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses. Now, of course, that's not the end of it. There's more to come. Achtung Baby got a deluxe edition box set reissue in 2011, and this is a real beastie. It's probably hard to get, it's probably expensive to get, and this is not, by the way, the most expensive version of the box set that came out. There was a version that came with 5 coloured vinyl singles, and it came with a reproduction of Bono's Sunglasses, and it came with a bunch of other shit, and it was about £350. I didn't buy it because I needed the money for such fripperies as electricity and food. But let's go inside this, because I think this 2011 box set is pretty much the definitive way to create a brilliant version of an album. So we're going to quickly go through here and review what's on there. So we've got first and foremost, we have this, which is a series of 16 12 by 12 inch prints from the album that also feature, by the way, the first time that you will have seen in writing there's the baby from Achtung Baby, there's the star, and there's the Trabant car as well, and there's 16 12 inch prints. Now if I had a mansion, I would have gone through these prints and I would have put them on. But what this does do, actually, this allows you to create your own preferred cover for the album. So these are, I think, the 16 prints that are in the 4x4 grid on the cover of Achtung Baby. And on the actual cover of Achtung Baby, what you will see is the cover doesn't have the band's name on it at all. It has a sticker that says Achtung Baby, but Achtung Baby is not listed on the front. So here's the 12 inch 12 by 12 16 lithographic prints from the Achtung Baby box set, probably now worth the cost on their own. And this is the book that comes with it. It's a beastie. So let's go through what's on the deluxe edition of Achtung Baby. So we've got 6 audio CDs. Here we've got Achtung Baby. Here we've got that's Europa. We've got Uber remixes. We've got Unter remixes. We've got Kindergarten, and we've got the B-sides and bonus tracks. So let's go through what's on this. So you've got the album, the 1991 album that's been slightly remixed. Well, not remixed, remastered, but really the only remastering is that they've turned the volume up a little bit. You've got the 1993 album, Europa, which is worth a separate episode that I will address elsewhere. And you've got shots of recording tapes. You'll notice a track there called Down All the Days. Down All the Days appears on the B-sides and bonus tracks disc. You've got a bunch of photographs of the band in Tenerife. You've got some essays. You've got a whole bunch of stuff. You've got lots and lots of pretty photos. You've got something about the making of Achtung Baby, and you've got lots of pictures of the band on tour. But the real gold that sits in this is perhaps far more exciting. It's when you get into the bonus discs. So the bonus discs, we've got Unter and Uber, which is 2 CDs of remixes. I'll be blunt, you only need 1 CD of remixes on here, and you need maybe 2 of the best mixes of each track. This one has, let's count how many mixes are even better than the real thing. 1, 2, 3, 4 remixes of Even Better Than the Real Thing across 2 discs, which is 3 too many, I think. And we've also got, let's think, we've got 1 mix of Mysterious Ways, 2, a second mix, a third. So we've got 3 CDs and 1, so 5. And you've got 6 remixes of Mysterious Ways. I'm not going to beat around the bush here. You don't listen to 6 remixes of Mysterious Ways, or at least I don't. Now the real gold sits on the B-sides of the bonus tracks. So we've got the B-sides that we've already mentioned, but there's a number of other songs which were only on the U2, the rehearsals. In the rehearsals, so we've got Blow Your House Down, which is a version of, again, Blow Your House Down, which appears many times on the 2 rehearsals albums, but it's re-recorded, so some of the vocals have been re-recorded for that. And you've also got Heaven and Hell, which appears, I think, on the gold version of it. We've got Oh Berlin, which has not been on any of the bootleg versions, but by the look of it, that might have been recorded at Hansa. We've got Near the Island, which was recorded or produced by U2 and Paul Barrett, so that was probably during the sessions that took place at STS. We've got Down All the Days, which is from Hansa. So we've got 4 unreleased songs here. We've got Alex Descends into Hell for a Bottle of Milk and Corova One from the soundtrack to the stage production of A Clockwork Orange from 1990. And if you want to hear where U2 were going sonically at that point, you should try and get the soundtrack, but I think only about 3 minutes of it has ever been circulated, apart from on the B-side. I would love to hear the soundtrack to the Clockwork Orange stage production. I think it'd be absolutely fascinating, and the fact that it's not on this box set is a mild annoyance. I think it's probably the best way of putting it. There's also a new track called Everybody Loves a Winner, which was not on the original version of the album. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 6 previously unreleased songs from the Achtung Baby sessions. But also on disc 6, we've got an alternate version of Achtung Baby. So these are probably 95% complete mixes of the original tracks, recorded at what feels like mostly the same sessions and mostly the same times as the finished mixes. So maybe these were the prototype versions that the band chose not to put on the album in favour of an extra mix or an extra version that they'd come back to a little bit later on. Now, not going to muck about. Fans, we absolutely creamed ourselves at the thought of getting demo versions of the whole of Achtung Baby. It's an absolutely essential listen. It's frustrating that that fantastic bit of audio is locked inside a now heavily deleted box set, and that even on the best of days would have cost you about £130 for 10 discs. I really wish that they'd done a shorter version or a smaller version of this box set that divided the material up between Achtung Baby and Zeropa, as opposed to putting Achtung Baby and opposed to putting Zeropa inside as a bonus disc inside Achtung Baby. It isn't. It's a separate album in its own right. It had a separate tour, had a separate set of singles that was recorded up to 3 years after the material that's on Achtung Baby. And again, as I said, at this point, Zoo TV hadn't happened when Achtung Baby had been released, so all the stuff that came with changing the band's image as a result of Zoo TV, none of us had a clue that was about to happen. All we knew was that U2 had made a weird and unusual album, and this weird and unusual album really was absolutely, completely, it ticked every box for me, because what I wanted my pop stars and my rock stars to be weird. I wanted them to have a sense of humour. I wanted them to play with and deconstruct the medium. I wanted them to muck about with what was going on. I didn't want just straight recordings of straight songs that were telling me that war was very bad and that peace was very good and that love was excellent. I wanted someone to talk with depth and meaning about it, but also to be able to play with the form and the medium, and at some points to say something and then wink at the camera and go, I'm lying, that type of stuff, or to go, or was I? Now there's 4 extra discs on the Achtung Baby SuperMegaBoxSet. There's a documentary from the sky down. There are the videos, all the videos for the Achtung Baby and the Zeropa album. There's the bonus material, and there's Zoo TV live at Sydney. Now the bonus material is great. It features the Zoo TV special recorded on the American tour. It's about an hour of live footage and about 20 extra minutes of bizarre, weird and unusual extra pieces, fake interviews, Mind TV appearances by the doppelgangers, all that type of stuff. It's very readily available on YouTube. It's much better. It deserves a far better fate than being stuck as a DVD on the last page of a 100 and something pound box set. The documentary as well from the sky down is essential viewing, really interesting. I wish the band would do more documentaries about their history and their time, and because I think they've got some really fascinating stories to tell about the story. Now that brings us to the end of the Achtung Baby box set, and obviously the singles that go with it. I'm going to wrap up here, I think, and I'm going to go for a break. And the next time that I talk about U2, I will talk about Zeropa and my opinion of that album. I may come back and revisit parts of this box set as part of that, but I will do that on another occasion, because I have been talking consistently for about 46 minutes at you. Quite a while, actually, I must admit, and your patience has been appreciated. At this point, I will stop and I will pass the baton over to my next and most important appointment, which is with a glass of orange juice over there. And again, as per normal, any questions or anything like that, stick them in the questions bar, and I will do my best to dutifully honour your requests. Or more correctly, if you're not a dick, I might respond. Okay, so next episodes, we've got some options. How we could talk through the David Fincher filmography. We could go for Suede's Coming Up album. Maybe talk about New Order. Maybe talk about Zoo TV, but I'm a bit U2'd out right now. Might start with the early Depeche Mode albums and talk through all of those. But anyway, you'll let me know what you want or what you don't want. I could also pick up the the trail of porg seeds that was let by my other videos about Star Wars, and talk about The Force Awakens. The world is your oyster card. If you have a strong preference around any one of those, do let me know. It's been lovely to see you. Apart from you there, I see what you're doing. But the rest of you, you're all lovely and chill, and I will see you all soon. Bye.